The taxi driver stopped in front of the house. The girl got out and turned around to tell the driver to wait for her. But when she turned around, she saw a stranger sitting where she had been sitting only seconds before. Startled, she took a step back, and that's when she saw it. His wedding ring. She felt a surge of relief. It was just a harmless stranger. Then he opened his mouth and said, "Are you Sarah?" Confused, Sarah could only nod. What was this man doing in her taxi? Was he following her? Did he know her? Why did he get into her taxi? Why did he ask her name? Was he trying to kidnap her? So many questions were running through her head at that moment. It was late at night. All the streetlights were turned on, and the city looked like a giant illuminated organism from above. It was mesmerizing. At first it was just another ordinary day for Sarah, but then a strange man entered her taxi and everything changed. His appearance didn't strike her as odd. He was an average Joe, maybe a little older, maybe a little balder, but definitely not someone she would have taken a second glance at. If it hadn't been for one small detail, he smelled like her husband, or at least something very similar to him. This sent a shiver down her spine. Could it be? No. She shook her head to clear out the thought. Her husband had died 3 years ago. Any resemblance was probably just a coincidence. She got out of the taxi and closed the door. "How much do I owe you?" she asked, hoping that the driver would hurry up and leave so that she could get home as soon as possible. But as the man stepped out of the taxi, he told her that he actually needed to talk to her. Sarah was stunned. She tried to keep calm and collected, but inside she was freaking out. How could he know her name? And now he wanted to talk to her. What did he want? She wanted to run away, but her legs felt heavy, as if filled with lead. All she could do was stand there and listen to what this mysterious man had to say. "I need to apologize," he began. "I shouldn't have followed you, but I had to make sure that you were okay." "Are you Sarah Williams?" She managed to utter a yes. "Look, I'm sorry for sneaking into your taxi, but I thought it was you and I needed to talk to you." He took a deep breath. "My name is Tom Hansen. I work at City Hall, and I was working on a case that involved your late husband, John Williams." Sarah frowned. "What does my husband have to do with City Hall?" Tom looked uncomfortable. "Well, it's a long story, but basically we believe that John might have embezzled some funds from the city." Sarah gasped. "What? No, he couldn't have done that." Tom shook his head. "We have evidence that suggests otherwise. We found documents with his fingerprints on them that linked him to the missing money. At first, we thought he stole the money before he died, but we later discovered that the documents were recent, which means he was still involved in it when he passed away." Sarah felt her heart sink. She knew her husband had a gambling problem, but she never suspected that he was embezzling money. She loved her husband despite his flaws, and she didn't want to believe that he was a thief. "What are you going to do?" she asked quietly. Tom hesitated. "We're going to need your help to find the money, Mrs. Williams. We know that John was a gambler, so we think he might have spent the money at one of the casinos in the city." Sarah shook her head. "I'm sorry, Mr. Hansen, but I can't help you. I don't know anything about my husband's activities." Tom looked at her for a moment. "Okay, I understand. I'll leave you alone then. But please, if you do remember anything, you should contact me as soon as possible." With that, he turned and walked away, leaving Sarah standing in the middle of the sidewalk. She watched him go, her mind racing. What had he meant by saying that he needed to make sure that she was okay? Did he suspect that she was involved in her husband's alleged crimes? Or was there something else going on? Suddenly, she remembered something. The night before her husband died, he had come home with a large envelope, claiming that it contained important documents. He had asked her to keep it safe. Could that be the evidence that Tom was talking about? If it was, then she needed to find it and destroy it. After all, she didn't want her husband's legacy to be tarnished.